Well, this is going to be hopefully a repair video on this Gallagher M360. We do not see this model come in for repair very often. This particular unit's about 4 years old. It's outside of warranty, unfortunately. So the note on it says, no charge sent to fence, green light, does flash, no clicking sound. Okay. So the clicking sound itself from a fence charger, no matter what brand and model it is, the clicking sound itself comes from the transformer when the energy passes through it from the input side or the output side of the transformer. That energy passing through it, when that capacitor and board discharges, that noise that you hear is the transformer itself boosting energy from the input side to the output side. Some people think it's a relay or a capacitor discharging. No, those don't make any noise on the inside. It's all due to the transformer itself. And so let's see. We'll plug it in here and see if it does exactly what the guy says. Yep, flashing, not clicking. So the energy that is supposed to be going through the transformer is not making it to the transformer. So I don't know if we'll have the parts here in stock for it, but we're gonna take a peek and see. We don't see a lot of the newer Gallaghers in. We see lots of their older ones and fix a lot of the older ones. Let's get these security screws out. These are tamper-proof Torx that Gallagher uses on their AC models. They're a UL listed unit. A lot of brands aren't. There's only about 2-3 brands that are. Gallagher's one of them. Okay. Turn the light on so you can see a little bit better. Maybe you can too. It doesn't look like a lot of stuff in here, but if you flip the circuit board over, a lot more crap on the other side. I say crap, but a lot more electronics on the other side. These are all the kind of the old school through-hole stuff on the top side. On the back side is all the surface mount fancy electronics on the back side. Okay, with this unit being as semi-new as it is, I don't think the capacitor is going to be an issue, but we're going to test it and see. Now the M560, and they do make an M800 as well in the same kind of package design. I believe the M560 and 360 share the same circuit board and same transformer, but they have different capacitors between those two models. On the M800 model, the next two sizes bigger from this one, same transformer, different board, different capacitor. Similar looking boards, it's just got a few extra parts on it. So we're going to test this capacitor first. Now the capacitor might have a charge built up in it, so let's discharge it. Safe way to discharge it, quick and dirty ways, to just put a screwdriver across the terminals there on the capacitor, or take a pair of something pliers with an insulated handle, or like what we do, we take a big resistor and put it across, and it slowly bleeds it off. I didn't see it pop or anything, like a little pip from it, so I don't think the capacitor was even charging up. Okay, so how do we test this to see why is this thing not clicking? I'm going to do 2 tests, and this will narrow me down to where the problem's at. We'll test the capacitor in a second, because here's the transformer. This is the input side right here. These black wires right here. This is our input side going to the transformer. This is our output side going to your fence and ground. So this is the ticking noise comes from this part right here. So the energy off this board, once it times it and discharges the capacitor and everything else into the transformer, that click noise when the power goes from here to here goes across. So that's the ticking noise you hear. So energy is not making it to here. Isn't going across here for some reason or another. So either the capacitor is weak and bad. That's a possibility. This particular one is a 20 microfarad 1400 volt DC capacitor. So we're just going to go across here and see if we can get about 20 out of it. 20.1. So that is fine. Now we're going to ohm out the transformer. I'm going to unplug one of the wires and Just take it out of circuit. I want to get a false reading, and there's no polarity. There's an ohm across it. This should get. This will tell me real quick if the primary is good. Then that means the board's got a problem. If the primary is bad, transformer's got a problem. So on all low impedance fence chargers, the primaries all read about the same. The internals could be all different, but the input sides are all about the same. They're just a closed loop to allow the board and capacitor to discharge through it. So basically just a closed winding. And there's usually between 0.1 and 0.9 ohms. And we're getting 0.9 ohms. Alright, the secondary side varies from model to model. This is 11 ohms. I don't know if that's any good or not. Some read 4 ohms, some read 30 ohms. So they're the outputs are all over the place. So our issue is the board. Something in the circuit board is not happy for some reason or another. He didn't mention anything about lightning or anything, so I'm not sure what's causing his issue or caused this issue with the board, but the issue is the board. Alright, so we're going to unplug this wire, the power cord, just kind of put it out of the way. Now we got to get, there's 2 screws, 2 small Phillips screws. See, there's all the fancy electronics, and this board has got a nice sheen to it. That's the conformal coating that Gallagher puts on all their boards. There's a lot of electronics on there. See, look at the front side, oh, not much going on. It looks pretty basic. Look at the back side, like, oh shit, look at all that crap. So, these 2 things, just by looking at them, these are 2 big SCRs. That fire thing is a small one right there. But the issue's in this board somewhere. You know, you cannot get any schematics for this at all. Gallagher does not, well, any brand does not give out schematics for their stuff, unfortunately. So, you know, not much you can do. And the thing is cycling. It is, you know, it's flashing along every second or two like it should. So, you know that part of it's fine. Just not discharging. So, we have to get a new board installed. And let's look at these boards side by side and see if I see any difference in it. Got the same 2M number, which is just a Gallagher internal batch number of some sort. I do not see much change between the 2 boards. He didn't mention anything about lightning damage or storm rolling through. So now to get this board in here, we got the little notches up in this top edge there. Little notches, you get it up inside there. Notches, and you set it down. And then we'll set the board down. And then we'll put the transformer back in. And then get that over there. It does have a purple and a brown wire, and on the board it says purple and brown, but honestly these capacitors don't have a polarity to it, so it doesn't really matter which wire goes where, as long as they go to the 2 tabs that this capacitor unplugged from. That part of it doesn't really matter. They just color code it probably for ease of assembly and when person's building the thing, and maybe for customers that are trying to work on it themselves. So then I like to do is kind of squeeze on these little female spade connectors. They kind of widen up a little bit when you pull them off, and the board has, it says brown and blue and black and white. So this board must share a 220 volt cousin somewhere overseas. Just brown and blue is the color for 220 volt overseas and stuff, and black and white is for 110 volt over here. So let's plug it in. Let's see if it clicks. I'll plug it in, turn the switch on my power strip. Alright, hear it clicking. So we solved our issue there. Let's put the cover back on. I think these things put out like 7,000-8,000 volts or higher. We'll put our analog fence tester across the terminals. Lights flashing. All the camera's not picking up because of how bright the overhead lights are. About 8,000, 7.5 to 8. So there we go. Not sure why the board has a problem. And like I said, the note doesn't mention anything about storm. And I don't see nothing really burnt, so it's hard to say. Nice little snap to it. So it's a 3.6 stored joule. I think right around 3 output joules. Pretty reliable unit. I mean, this is probably the first M360 we've worked on in like probably 3 years. So we haven't worked on very many of these things. They don't come in all that often. And every time we get one in, 90% of the time it's power surge or lightning or something like that's gotten a hold of it. But even then, it's not very many swing through our shop. You do pay more for the Gallagher stuff, but they seem to be more reliable. And they're easier to get parts for. Some brands have a bad problem with getting parts. There we go. Pretty straightforward repair. Alright, well that's it for now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up button. You're welcome to send one of these to us for repair. There's our information right there. There's also links in the description area below. Tell your friends about us. Till next time, see you later on. Have a good rest of your day.